We were looking at CAO choice, and went to colleges asking about Formula students. Was there a team we could go to? We were going to pick the college based on them having a team. Yeah. And we seen UL had one years ago, and we seen TUS. They're just becoming a university. This is all new to them, and we've seen that as an opportunity because we could bring TUS to potentially Formula students. So I think in our first week of college, we started approaching different lecturers, and we approached Daniela, and she was like, "That's a lot of work." And then we kept approaching her, and we kept asking her, and 2 or 3 weeks in, we managed to pull her arm and actually set up a team.
So one of my lecturers approached me in second year and simply asked me, am I interested in race cars? I said yes, and I got thrown into it, and I helped build the team from the ground up, and it was a community of engineers that I enjoyed. I do love race cars and building them, so I just kept going, and that's how I got into it.
I've been an avid supporter of Formula One my entire life. I've been to 2 Canadian races, and it's my biggest passion. That, and I grew up building Lego, and I still build Lego at the age of 23. So being part of a team that's building a car and going to Silverstone, the home of Formula One, is a massive opportunity for me.
I haven't much interest in motorsport itself, but I'd spend most of my time working on the cars, fixing friends, fixing my brothers, my own. Picking up project cars, so that's kind of my main draw to this. Is I love working on engines, I love working, suspension, wheels, any of that. I love taking apart and most of the time putting it back together.
I suppose in January that first year we canvassed a bit. We put a few posters, asked a few of our classmates, who'd be interested. We started with about 6 people to begin with. We shared the idea that we want to build our own F1 style car and take it to Silverstone and race against all the top universities in the world. And we said, if we don't try, we'll never know if we could, and we'll always regret it.
Nathan had this idea about Formula One when he was in secondary school, and of course that idea grew, and no surprise, engineering in my family, and my dad was nuts into Formula One, so it's genetic. So Nathan arrived home telling me he wanted to go to TUS, because TUS was the only place that didn't have a Formula One car. So I said, because we'd been through secondary school with it, I said, right, do it. And I didn't think it would happen so quick.
So from there, over the next 2 years, we built up to a team of about 40 people now. Yeah. And we were over there last year. We took half the car there, and that was an amazing experience. It's to see the top teams with the amazing technology, the work gone into it. It was 25 years some teams are going at this, and they're so, we'll say, friendly. They share all the information with you. They hold nothing back. Really good community over there. So last year we went to this concept. This year we're hoping to go full class and full car and really compete there.
So my role as lead engineer, so I manage half the team. We've split the team into a few different groups, such as suspension, chassis. We have an electrical team. We have 2 lead engineers. One is Paddy. And what I do is every week and in every meeting, I go around and meet this team, give them pointers on where to go and help in the design and the management of the team.
So I've been in college with Asher Grant for about 4 years now, and then in 4th year I kind of got to know him. And then another lad in the class was also on the team. I was just talking with them, and it actually sounded very interesting. I'd known about Formula Student for a while, but I didn't really have much interest in joining up until I started talking with these guys, and then I thought, this is actually something I'm quite interested in. When I heard about them going to Silverstone, I thought that was very interesting and sounded very fun, and I wanted to get in part of it.
I'm the project manager of the motorsport team, so my job is basically to make sure everything's being kept on track and that we're meeting strict deadlines so that we don't fall behind and that we can get the car to Silverstone.
We listen to everyone on the team. We make sure that everyone has equal say, and if we believe that one idea is better than the other, that's the idea we choose. It's not based on bias. It's not based on, he's 4th year and you're 1st year. You're obviously incorrect. We take them both into account, no matter the year or whatever. It's all the one does. If the design's good, the design's good.
I got roped into this for the simple reason I'm very dedicated to my children, like all mothers. So they need someone to step in and understand. Getting funding, getting a place to make the car, even having someone at 3 o'clock in the morning when they're feeling it down the bus, put the arm across the shoulder and say, look, you're doing this now. I have a 3D printer inside my house that goes non-stop. That's 27 hours last weekend it was running. So I suppose financially, emotionally, even having the shed here. Like I'm 7th generation of us making stuff and doing stuff and repairing things and making things. So it's no surprise he didn't lick it off the stone, you know. So.
We've got a lot of publicity out of this. As of before we even really announced it, a lot of internal people knew about it, and we've gotten to get a bit of traction, I suppose you could say. So we're definitely on the up, which is a lot better than where we were previously, which was very little funding, and all of it was coming from the likes of €8,000 from the HEA and N-Tutor, which is European funding. A lot of it came from that. Like that's what the car is based off for the past year and a half.
So one of the biggest challenges that the team has had to overcome is to do with funding and time put in. So we're almost purely sponsor driven. So we've reached out to various companies to ask for both monetary value and in funding and also in manufacturing capabilities.
Everything else was sponsorship from local businesses, local companies supporting us. So it's just cold calling, sending emails, and we raised nearly 25 grand just within that through to include the chassis and stuff. So all the local companies have made it possible too. So that's a big thing.
One of the team's main challenges is the time that we have. So we're all currently doing a degree here in TUS, and we're all part of a wide variety of courses ranging from mechanical, automobile, electrical, software. And we also want to keep up our grades. So balancing the time between the team and your degree is a major challenge.
One of the biggest challenges that I've seen the team come up against is supporting the college. It's very difficult to figure out where we stand. We're asked to do a lot of kind of meetings, kind of present, but then when we want to order something, it's hard to figure out who do we go to, how do we get through to the right channels. We're looking for support in some areas, and a lot of the time it's just trying to figure out how do we get past our roadblocks.
So we were awarded the Sattel Impact Award by the HEA. That consists of support of 25,000 towards the project, and we've been invited to Dublin to accept this award as part of the team.
And we applied through the team of interdisciplinary projects. So our base is that we got a lot of different degree types and students involved from all different years, and thankfully we were successful in the application against 30 other colleges in Ireland.
Yeah, the only TU outside of Dublin, and technically I believe the only college outside of Dublin.
Yeah, as far as I know, yeah.
So it's quite prestigious, I suppose you could say.
It changes the project completely. I mean, we coming into this year, we weren't sure how we were going to continue it. Having that 25 grand is going to help develop this car for this competition, and also next year and the future years, because everything we buy will support the next 10 years of competition.
You're no longer working with workarounds or cheap products. You're there buying the best and what you require to make the car what you want to make it.
I suppose a goal of the 25 grand as well would be that we have to fund the car and support that, and also try and integrate it into the college. So we have had projects in academia as part of the car, and I think this year hopefully we'll be able to really support that with the funding and really just develop the project.
So the engine's condition is currently that it's running well. We have a wiring loom, we have a cooling system rigged up, we also have a fuel system. We have the intake and exhaust in place with it restricted to a single carburetor. We've tested it extensively and we're finding that it revs very well and has a lot of power at the minute. The next stage is to attach the diff and get a driving car.
We recently got Athlone involved, so the plan is there's a divide in some way, in distance between the two colleges, because TUS Athlone, TUS Motorsport, we're all under the TUS family of colleges. So we wanted to work together. So when we were up at a competition, the NASA Space Apps competition, which we did a hackathon, we met some students up there, and we now have about 8 students working at Athlone to develop the body made of carbon fibre. So hopefully that'll be pretty nice couple of months too.
But now we're creating a fairly solid link there between these two campuses that will allow for better communication, better understanding of the two colleges and what they're capable of manufacturing, because there's a brilliant polymer facility in Athlone that we died to have here in Moylish, but it's the same college. We can surely be able to use their facilities as our facilities. We're just trying to break this barrier down.
I'm helping him out as much as I can, and I do a lot of camera work and photography for him. So going over to Silverstone last year and the year before, I'd hire a car, take the gear over and try and video little bits and pieces just to push it. So, even for the sponsors, I go to places so that the sponsors get acknowledged for the work they're doing.
You need trust, and trust is very hard to get in certain places, especially in any type of educational field. As in, you need to prove yourself before you get the chance to ask or get stuff in return. So this gives us a very good opportunity to, one, be a part of the St. Patrick's Day Parade, which we've luckily been allowed to take part in this year with our current car. So we're there going to be representing TUS.
Being part of the St. Patrick's Day Parade this year is a massive opportunity for the whole team. Being able to showcase the car to all of Limerick and just being proud of TUS and being part of motorsport.
We were very lucky with the weather. It was coming close there. We spent a few all-nighters the night before. Myself, Penny and Dara were up till 2 o'clock in the morning the night previous to the St. Patrick's Day Parade trying to wrap the panels.
I suppose it was the first local exhibition where people on the street and, outside of college, where we got to actually promote the car and Formula One students.
So to prepare for St. Patrick's Day, we started about 2 weeks previous, trying to get all our documentation and risk assessments done, and actually get into the parade was the first thing. Because of course we're bringing the car, we haven't had a float before, it's all new to us. So we organised a truck with my uncle, and then we got our documentation submitted and we were successful in application. So then we had to actually get the car together, and we're trying to work on the car at the same time and make progress there. And it did really hold stuff up. We cut it fairly tight.
When we did St. Patrick's Day, definitely the crowd was the best thing. We were going around, we were on the float, looking around, and everyone was smiling. Everyone, you could read people's lips, you could hear them even, we were that close, that they were saying, oh, look at what they're doing, isn't that impressive? They saw the car, they thought, Jesus, these lads made it.
We did the pit stop, which seemed to excite the crowd, and from that, we do feel it has helped us to kind of publicise ourselves and get our name out there.
We were doing a little drama with our pit stops. Everyone loved it, and we kind of looked at it being like, Jesus, we're not just some lads in the shed, we're actually getting something done.
I think when we actually got to the stand and we had, the cameras on us and we did the pit stop, and we hadn't even rehearsed that. We came up on that as we were driving through the city. We're thinking we can't just stand and wave, we need to actually look a bit more lively than that. So we started trying different things, and then we started getting different reactions from the crowd, and it was really good. And getting to that point, having our names called out over through the streets of Limerick and being able to just do the pit stop, it was brilliant. It was just such a special moment.
I think it's when, as they came down O'Connell Avenue, it hit them. People were applauding and surprised, whereas it's inside in a garage here in Kilcommon, or it might go to TUS occasionally. But it just gave them a new anticipation of what's coming down the line now in a few weeks' time. It's only weeks, really.
Yeah, so this shed, as long as I have been alive, it's been under construction. It doesn't seem to ever get finished, so it's always changing. There was just this piece of the shed, then we built an extension, then we added a bathroom, then we added a fireplace, and it's constantly moving here and there. But it's, I suppose, where we based our hub for building the car.
This is home from home, I suppose. I'm hoping that's how they feel, The energy is good, and they all get on really, really well together.
We looked at how other teams have done it as well. So we looked at Trinity, and Trinity took a car to track and actually competed at competition. And then we asked Peter O'Flynn at the time, how did they manage to do that? How did they get the facilities? So they said they just kind of winged it. They set it up in Peter's garage and they worked from there. And so we took that inspiration and I started working from here. So we're out in the middle of nowhere. I know it's a bit difficult to get to, but it's nice and remote. No noise complaints, which is handy.
So the big thing for this year is to, after having a completed car and after competing in Silverstone, is having that legacy to give to the students coming into TUS here, so that this competition and this car can continue on till next year.
Another issue as someone new to the team I found is there's just a vast amount of knowledge stored in upper management. They've highly experienced, but the issue is if you're coming in on one project, for example, I was on differential when I started, I didn't understand much of the differential. It's kind of hard to catch up.
I want to leave a legacy of this. There's so many other colleges out there that have teams running for so many years, and I'd love to be able to be like, I was part of the original group, and then hopefully if I have kids and they come here, that they'd be able to go to be part of that team as well.
So like for me, seeing Nathan doing all this, it's like just genes, you know, you can't beat it. This house, the old house here, all had sheds repairing stuff all the time, making parts because they couldn't afford to buy them, you know, so we're doing the same thing. We have a 3D printer making stuff because we can't afford to buy it. So yeah, like it's great. To me, we're lucky to be able to help him out and help his friends out.
The final goal of the car would be to get it over to Silverstone and race. That's not the final goal of the team. The final goal of the team is to continue it on. So there is no final goal. Compete every year and make sure the team runs forever. As long as we can make it run. We're, obviously teaching people about not only engineering and business and
entrepreneurship and
all this.
Everything.
We're teaching them how a business is run and how to manage one. So when me and Nathan do eventually leave, as any students do, because that's all we are at the end of the day, we're going to hopefully leave this to a team set and ready to continue this on for as long as it can.
I suppose once we build some kind of car, and the thing was, as Dara would say, every year we build on that, and as we leave, every team builds on that, and the foundations support it.
I suppose if we don't do it, I don't think anyone else will,